Some would say that artists themselves or even comedians, they have to have the crisis or the down stuff to produce what they produce. It's one of the big questions. Could they produce things out of happiness that everybody would like as much?
If Taylor Swift got married and had a happy home life.
All of a sudden she's fine. No one cares.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris.
And I'm Bret.
And you've been asking, and we're back with another NF reaction video. It's been a while.
It has been a very long while.
A hot
yes.
minute. But yeah, so just for those of you that are new, Bret is the old seasoned senior pastor. I'm the young hotness. I'm the youth guy. But,
so he's known. That's his nickname.
But I've been taking you through the NF journey. It's been a while. We've reacted to some BTS stuff, Taylor Swift, so you can check those out. But we've reacted to, this is number 21.
21, yeah.
NF journey.
I didn't realize that was you took me on the journey.
Yeah, so you can check that out.
A lot on the journey.
But you also have made some content about like what this journey has meant to you and like what some of the stuff that his lyrics talk about and all that.
Things I learned.
So we'll link that.
Also check that out. Yeah.
At the end of the video. So yeah, but we're gonna dive into why.
And this is where in the journey.
So this is right before the. I'm drawing a blank on the album. The Search, right before The Search came out. This was kind of a single release, kind of leading up to that, and so this is So you'll see some of the same themes. So this one has been a while since I watched this video, but I know that like there's some of the same imagery and things like that. So
and the Search is like, where does that fall in the number of albums? You got the intro. You got where does it fall?
So The Search was leading up to kind of like in between the album that came before and The Search. There was kind of his dark period where he was very much mentally challenged and things like that, of like just where his dark thoughts and all that stuff was. And so The Search was kind of like him trying to come out of that, and then that led into Clouds mixtape, and then you had Hope, which we reacted to a lot of those. And so this was kind of his, The Search was like, okay, what is going on in my life and how do I get out of that kind of.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're gonna look at why. Here we go. NF. Gosh, already.
Like the opener.
Yeah. So
did you apparently. Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, you already
Some of you are thinking, man, this is going to be a long journey.
But so the balloons, remember, those are his burdens, the things that he carries and things like that. And then just all his settings are
I do now that you pointed them out, yes.
Dark and grungy, but you can see there on the TV, it says Why right there. So that's the name of the song.
But you knew some of this stuff before, right? Though.
So no,
I'm literally seeing this for the very first time in my entire life.
I will tell you, it's been years since I've seen this video.
But still, he had an unfair advantage.
I really haven't watched a lot of this.
Observing. Okay. Here we go. This is gonna be great. Oh, there's the balloon. See, I would have known that.
Yeah.
And there's the card.
Definition of success. I don't trust the thoughts that come inside my head. I don't trust this thing that beats inside my chest. Who I am and who I wanna be cannot connect. Why? Don't think I deserve it, you get no respect. I just made a couple mil, still not impressed. Let you down goes triple platinum, yeah, okay, I guess. Smile for a moment, then these questions starting to fill my head, not again.
So again, it's like some of the same themes that he deals with are like, I'm getting successful. This was like, so this is part of when he, like his rise. He's like, I made a couple mil. Like he's getting more popular, but he doesn't know how to deal with that. It's like triple platinum. Like there's all this stuff that he is going up, but it's still not fulfilling him. So he's like, oh, this is kind of, I don't trust these thoughts inside my head. What was that line?
Yeah, I really like the line about who I want to be and who I am or don't connect. I think he said something like that. And I thought, well, welcome to the human race for a lot of us. I mean, but some people feel that more acutely, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of, you got that, I don't trust this thing that beats inside my chest, but like the thoughts running through my head. It's kind of that, the head and the heart, that kind of, that there's that disconnect sometimes of like, well, this is who I want to be and who I think I am, but like, this is what I really feel on the inside. Yeah, and it's like, I don't think I...
And then throw a couple $1 million on top of that, and you get you've got a recipe for interesting stuff.
I just made a couple mil, still not impressed. Like it's, and I think that he deals with a lot of negative comments sometimes, and like it's like, oh, I've made all this stuff, I've done all this stuff, but people are still not impressed with me, and so I got to keep.
But he was actually triple platinum. I'm very impressed with that.
Let you down with triple platinum.
Okay. That's
how many is that? I forget.
3 million. I think a platinum is $1 million.
Okay, so
I think that's right.
Well,
it's a lot. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
And then I don't know the background.
Any musician who's ever made a CD. Oh, back in the day when we did the CDs, you ordered 1,000, and you learn when you get 1,000, 1,000 is a lot because you give them to your friends and family. 37 of them are gone, and you've got the 900 plus. Yeah, it's there's a lot of musicians I know that have that syndrome.
Okay.
So selling 3 million is a lot.
Well, there we go.
Very good.
You down goes triple platinum, yeah, okay, I guess. Smile for a moment, then these questions starting to fill my head, not again. I push away the people that I love the most. Why? I don't want no one to know I'm vulnerable. Why? That makes me feel weak and so uncomfortable. Why? Stop asking me questions, I just want to feel alive until I...
Okay, so, man, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. We did a podcast recently about comedians and why there's like this disconnect from who they are on stage and like their real life, that they can't feel like they can be real with one another because some of these things, like he says, I can't be real, I can't be vulnerable, because if people knew who I really was, then they wouldn't like me anymore. And so like with a comedian, you feel like, oh, I have to always be funny and always be on and be the life of the party. But what if I'm dealing with hard things? And he does deal with hard things, but he doesn't want people to know that, because they can't know I'm weak and uncomfortable and vulnerable and those kind of things. And so why
it actually has to make that harder, I would think, that if you've gone triple platinum and you're making all this money and now you're a star, still you just have a normal life where you have family members and you go to Thanksgiving dinner or whatever. It would be hard. It would make it worse in a lot of ways. Like you're still the same person, but you're this other thing. That would be very, very difficult.
Yeah, and I mean, when King David was being chosen to be the next king in Scripture, like Samuel went and looked at all the people, like his brothers, and like, oh, this has got to be the guy, because they're popular and they're strong and they're tall and they're good looking and all this stuff. And they're like, no, it's the weak guy, because it says God looks at the heart. And I think a lot of times we look at the outside of a person and look at, oh, he's triple platinum now, and like, oh, Nate Bargatze is selling out stadium. Like we look at all these good accomplishments and we see them from the outside, but like on the inside, like they're dealing with all this stuff, and they feel like they don't have an outlet to talk about those things. And that's why you have so many comedians and like musicians and all these famous people that end up with suicidal thoughts and all this stuff, because they don't have an outlet for that. So, all right, stop asking me questions. I just want to feel alive, man. Okay.
Stop asking me questions, I just want to feel alive until I die. This isn't Nate's flow, just let me rhyme. I'm in disguise. I'm a busy person, got no time for lies. One of a kind, they don't see it, I pull out their eyes. I'm on a rise. I've been doing this for most of my life with no advice. Take my chances, I just roll the dice. Do what I like. As a kid, I was afraid of highs. Put that aside, now I'm here and they look so surprised. Well, so am I. Whoa. They don't invite me to the parties, but I still arrive. Kick down the door and then I go inside. Give off that I do not belong here vibe. Then take the keys right off the counter and let's go for a ride. Why do y'all look mortified? I keep to myself, they think I'm sorta shy. Organized, Let You Down's the only song you've heard of, well then you're behind. Story time.
So yeah, Let You Down. So that, I think that was the song that maybe went triple platinum. Like,
okay.
So that's why he's like, oh, you're behind. Like you've only heard this one song, but it's like I've got all this other stuff. Like, you don't know who I am, and that's I think like the imposter syndrome of like showing up. He's like, I'm not invited to these parties, but I show up anyway, because this is when he was starting to be more popular and be played on the radio more and things like that. And people are like, who is this guy? Eminem wannabe, like all this stuff that he was getting these negative things. But he's like, I'm supposed to be here. I've got all this stuff. I've done all the work and put it in. And so you only know me from this one song, and you're making all this judgment on me. But any thoughts?
No, you can keep going for now.
Song you've heard of, well then you're behind. Story time. Wish that I could think like Big Sean does, but I just can't decide if I should stick my knife inside a Pennywise. I don't care what anybody else thinks. Lies. I do not need nobody to help me. Lies. I kind of feel guilty cause I'm wealthy. Why? I don't understand. It's got me questioning like why. Just tell me why. Not back to this flow inside. I feel divided. Back when I ain't had a dime, but had to drive. Back before I ever signed, I question live, like who am I, man? Whoa. Nothing to me's ever good enough. I could be working for 24 hours a day and think I never did enough. My life is a movie, but there ain't no telling what you gonna see in my cinema. I wanna be great, but I get in the way of myself and I think about everything that I can never be. Why do I do it though? Hey, yeah. Why you always looking at me?
That was pretty amazing run right there. I gotta. Hats off to the guy. Yeah,
that's a good flow.
Yeah,
I could be working with 24 hours a day, and I think I never did enough. So again, he has this idea of who he should be and who people think he is, and just he's like, I work all the time, but it never seems like it's enough. And
I think the thing that I keep thinking about is he's saying all these things, but the fact that he's triple platinum shows that a lot of people think these things. because I think that's why he's popular, because he's reflecting back to people what they think. So you know, they're related, even though they aren't triple platinum, they're certainly not millionaires. They feel the same exact kind of emotions, and that's where his popularity comes from, which puts him in a little bit of a problem, because
and that
he'll keep being listened to as long as he has problems.
And that's why the Hope album, because that was one of the things, like, okay, if he gets better, and that's what he even says. He's like, I've dwelt in this so long, I don't know who I'd be if I was happy. I don't know if you remember the Happy song, but it was like, I don't know who I would be if I became better, like if I got better. So,
and will people, and some would say that artists themselves, or even comedians, they have to have the crisis or the down stuff to produce what they produce. And it's one of the big questions: could they produce things out of happiness that everybody would like as much?
Yeah,
it's kind of an interesting.
If Taylor Swift got married and had a happy home life,
all of a sudden she's fine and no one cares, because I can't relate to you anymore. So and he has probably the same. I'm curious about, speaking of the journey, the Post Side of Hope would be very interesting.
Yeah, I know.
This is kind of leading up to it.
I can't wait for his new stuff. I don't know.
Is he triple platinum now?
I probably.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to look into it.
I could be working for 24 hours a day and think I never did enough. My life is a movie, but there ain't no telling what you're gonna see in my cinema. I want to be.
It also makes.
I started over. Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, it made me think you connect with him a lot. You're really super into him.
Yes.
Gives me insight into Chris's psyche is where I was going with that. You can continue on.
I act like I'm happy all the time.
No, that's what I'm saying. So,
Nothing is ever good enough. I could be working for 24 hours a day and think I never did enough. My life is a movie, but there ain't no telling what you're gonna see in my cinema. I want to be great, but I get in the way of myself and I think about everything that I can never be. Why do I do it though? Hey, yeah. Why you always looking aggravated? Not a choice, you know I had to make it. When they talk about the greatest, they gon' probably never put us in a conversation. Like something that I gotta take it. Write something that I might erase it. I love it, then I really hate it. What's the problem, Nathan? I don't know. I know I like to preach to always be yourself, but my emotions make me feel like I am someone else. Me and Pride have made a pact that we don't need no help, which feels like I'm at war inside myself, but I forgot the shells. I hold my.
I keep the space bar keeps breaking. All right, but oh man, that when he says what was that line? What's the problem, Nathan? I don't know, but my emotions make me feel like I'm someone else. And then
I always preach that you should be yourself, but then I'm turning around and I feel like I'm someone else. Yeah, I think inauthentic kind of stuff.
Which feels like I'm at war inside myself, but I forgot the shells. It's like I don't have the ammo to fight this battle anymore. And so, I mean, that's really what the search was about. Of like, how do I get past?
Yeah, it really is fascinating, because if you're trying to be successful in life at any given enterprise, it doesn't have to be music, it doesn't have to be art, it could be anything. You could have those same things, but it is fascinating to watch someone who reaches that place where most of us would label, okay, successful. You have you get the medal now, you did it, but you're still having the exact same feelings and thoughts and all that. That's kind of a wild thought. It's a little on the depressing side, because you're on your way up, you're like, okay, when I get there, it's not going to feel so hot either.
So I'm trying to, so visually, like these little things
maybe something else that
pop in. I can't even get it because it's so they're so quick, but it's like a picture of his face, like it keeps popping in, like with the makeup on. That was one of his things.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
it's a little dark for me. It's hard to see.
So yeah, that keeps popping up. But if you notice, like everywhere he goes in the room, the balloons are right there with him. Like they keep following around. Like his burdens are there with him at all points. All right.
War inside myself, but I forgot the shells. I hold my issues up for all to see, like show and tell. A lot of people know me, but not a lot know me well. Hold my issues up for all to see, like show and tell. A lot of people know me, but they don't know me well.
That was good. I like that last little way it ended. Yeah, it really does. You don't want to sound cliche when you talk about these things, but it really does point to there is something else that we need to kind of focus our lives on. Obviously, we believe that's Christ Himself, but you hear that story so much from people that we label who are successful. Taylor Swift had her own version of it. When we listen to her, so did BTS.
Yeah.
I think the last song that we listened to was the same exact refrain. Like, okay, so let's take that as a cue that there's probably some other work that needs to be done
And not just famous people wrestle with this, but
Right.
I have trouble being vulnerable with people too. And so it's that issue. And I think that's what you said. He speaks to that so well, and we want to do that. So, hey, check out some of our other stuff that we've made and some of the stuff that you've
reflecting.
Dove deep into.
Dove deep.
Divin? I can't think of the word.
See the divin,
Dive
deep your stuff.
All right.
Thanks.
I'm Chris.
I'm Brad.
We'll see you next time.